what stood out about it to you? Like, what made you like, hey, like, yeah, I want to get into sales now?
You know, being able to really like motivate, inspire people to like take action.
Yeah, you probably had that initial thought, like, oh, that's the guy who closed me. But it really sounds like it's like, no, that's the guy who really pushed you to be a better version of yourself.
I think a lot of people can probably relate to like being in your 20s, like not necessarily having like a clear path of what you're gonna do.
But at the end of the day, I think it's just like do your research, find the one that you want to go for, and just do it.
All right, guys, today we got a good one for you. I'm here with my partner, Amaan. I'm here with Giles, Justin, a couple up-and-coming closers that have been working with us over the course of, like the last year now?
Yeah, about 7 months now.
I don't even know, like, time just moves at a different freaking pace. But, yeah, Giles and Justin, I think, I was telling you guys before the pod, I think you guys are a great example of, some young guys who came in who, didn't necessarily have any crazy skill sets off the bat, but what you had was work ethic, a will to win. And, a few short months after training, you guys are already starting. You're starting to make some great commissions, and it's really only just the beginning. So we're here an hour from now. We're starting our Toronto Mastermind. But we wanted to sit down with you guys, have a bit of a conversation, kind of talk about what you guys have been up to over the last few months. What's been working for you, what's not working for you, kind of how, you got to where you're at now. And I guess we'll talk about what's next, too.
For sure.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
Yeah, so I guess like why don't Justin, I guess just start us out because you had a pretty unique story, right, of how you came across sales and high ticket sales and also us. Like, why don't you just give some background on like kind of where you were before you started working with us, like what was going on and like how you ended up reaching out.
Yeah, for sure. So like before this, I was doing e-commerce, right? I had joined a mentorship program. Am I allowed to like?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's called Yango. I'm owned by Brandon Wynn. Shout out to Brandon, by the way. And I was doing e-commerce, right? I was doing that for a while now. Saw great success with that. And the person who actually closed me with Yango was Ben. He's one of the team members on Misha and Closer.
Right. One of our top guys, yeah.
Yeah. See, I was doing e-commerce. Eventually, kind of like lost my passion for it. Started like, drifting into other things.
Right.
I remember going on YouTube.
What would you say you lost your passion for? Like, talk about that.
Yeah, it was just doing the same things like every single day. I just felt like, finding winning products, building stores around it, and just marketing that. I didn't really feel like that's my passion.
Right.
It didn't really bring me fulfillment. And then that's kind of where like my passion for e-commerce died out. And I remember I was going on YouTube and I saw a video of you interviewing Ben. I was like, wait a minute, this is the guy who like closed me. Right. And that's when I got to remote closing.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. So one of our closers who's been with us basically since the start, he closed you on a contract that he was selling for, and then that kind of opened your eyes, I guess, to the space and like closing as a thing. And then randomly you come across me interviewing Ben on YouTube, and then you're like, what stood out about it to you? Like, what made you like say like, hey, like yeah, I want to get into sales now?
Yeah, just like, being able to really like motivate, inspire people to like take action, like that's what Ben did to me. And, like I still remember that feeling. And it's like being able to like push people outside their comfort zones, being able to like convince them to like, take action, make a change. Like I feel like that's what really aligns me with who I am as a person. Like I want to be able to do that for other people.
Right. And like something I'm taking away from that, and like let me know what you think about this. It's not like, yeah, you probably had that initial thought, like, oh, that's the guy who closed me. But it really sounds like it's like, no, that's the guy who really pushed you to be a better version of yourself.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, because Ben on calls, like, he's kind of a savage, bro. Yeah. Like, he'll just be, like quiet, like, speaking in his deep voice. He'd be like, bro, like, are you going to make this change or not?
He doesn't buy his those fucking limitations.
No, that's sick, bro. And, like, where were you at? So, like, even, like... What made you want to do e-commerce? What made you like look into closing? Like where were you at like before all of that? Just like in your life.
Yeah, like even before I got into e-commerce, before I got into sales, I was a full-time server working at like a seafood restaurant. Okay. Yeah, man, it was not the move. It wasn't the life, man. I knew that like that was the life that I didn't want. Mm-hmm. I saw my friend doing e-commerce, so that kind of like made me like believe in myself more. Like, okay, like if he can do it, then I can do it too.
Mm-hmm. So are you like at this time, how old are you by the way?
I'm 21.
21, okay. So like you didn't go to school or anything? College?
I was in college but I dropped out within my second year.
Okay. You dropped out, you're working at seafood full time. what was your plan? Like when you did that, when you dropped out, you know, you're working seafood, like what was your vision for yourself, like at first?
Yeah, like I just want to become an entrepreneur. You know, I've always wanted to like work on my own time, be on my own schedule, not have to like worry about, you know, a grown man telling me what to do. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, cause for me personally, like I know that I only have one life, and like I want to make the most out of it. You know, like when I'm in my 20s, when I'm in my 30s, like I want to be able to like live life to the fullest and, you know, have complete freedom.
Yeah, would you say it's more of a case of like you wanted to be an entrepreneur? Or would you say it was more of a case of like you knew for a fact you didn't want the traditional corporate life?
Like where you move away or move towards?
I was more move towards. I'd say like both really, but mostly move towards like just wanted to like achieve the life that I wanted.
For sure. No, that's cool because I think a lot of people can probably relate to just like being there, right? Like being in your 20s, like not necessarily having like a clear path of what you're gonna do, but like knowing that like you're built for something bigger, you know. And I think a lot of people, they just kind of get like stuck in that, right? Like they might feel a certain way, they might feel like they're capable of more, but they don't really go on to accomplish much, right? Or maybe they don't take the action that they need to take, or whatever it may be, right? We've seen fucking all of it. But like, what do you think? And like also Giles, like if you want to jump in, like go for it. Like, what do you guys think kind of separates you? Because I think I think everybody wants that, right? I think everyone wants, you know, to be able to make money online, close deals remotely, or build a business remotely, or whatever, right? But like, very few actually get it done, right? In their early 20s. Most kind of just think about it. Very few actually start seeing the results. Like, what do you guys think you did differently?
I think it's just like work ethic, you know, just finding something that you just know the steps, and it's like that's actually what I wanted. You know, when Ramsey got me into the program, I was just like, I'm gonna work really hard, and I know I can work hard. I just want something to work, because the amount of businesses that I tried before, and I put so many hours in just to get like less than minimum wage, effectively,
Right.
was just crazy. Like started out with Amazon FBA and just never really got that far with it.
Yeah.
So I was just like, give me something that works. If I like directly just put time into it, it'll give me like a direct result out. And I
Right.
think that's the biggest thing.
What was that shift for you? Like, what made you be like, you know what, like, this is gonna work. I just need to work it.
It just seemed like so clear. It was like, here's the steps. Here's like week 1, week 2, week 3. You just do role plays. You hop on calls. You be active in the community. And he just made it clear that if you just do exactly that, then you'll get to where you want to be. So I was like, cool. I'm just gonna do that. Put 6 hours in like every single day whilst doing university, and then, you know, got an offer. Kind of just went from there.
And you know what's crazy, bro? It's like we can, especially because we run so much freaking coaching calls now, so much training calls. We do so much, right? So we've almost reached a point where like we can tell, like when someone comes in, even if they're 2 weeks into the program, like we can tell if they're going to win or not. And it's literally just based on activity, right? It's literally based on how bad do you want it. You know, it's like obviously we've been in this space now since 2019. You know, we've built up our office and our agency up here in Toronto. We've done everything that we've done remotely. And it's like we have literally created a process, right? 10 steps. We have the frameworks that work. We have the role play that works. You know, it's not necessarily easy to learn the skill, but it's like we've mapped it out to a process, right?
It's a simple process. You just do the work and it happens.
But it's easier said than done. And you know, shout out to you guys, right? Because it's like every single morning when we're doing our 9:30 a.m. boot camp, it's like I see you guys both to this day even, right? You're on calls, camera on, asking questions, engaging. I'm calling you out to role play when you don't want to role play, but you do it anyways, you know? And it's like when I see that you're just doing that consistently, it's like, okay, like I don't care what your skill set is, I don't care where you're at. People who do that tend to go on and win, right?
And that's a big thing for mentorship in general. Like, yes, work ethic is a non-negotiable. Like, that's a prerequisite getting into any industry, any business model. But from everything that you just shared, it shows me that you both had the eagerness to learn. And Justin, on our ride home from dinner yesterday, you know, what did I tell you about like the whole questions thing? Because there's a lot of resemblance.
Man, if I can recall, man, could you repeat that question one more time?
Like, remember what we spoke about in the car before I dropped you off at the Airbnb? I was telling you about like the eagerness to learn. Like every day I'd ask Dylan a question. Every day. And like you guys have that same exact character trait. And it's like when, you know, people like me or Misha or Dylan or Rome, you know, they see something in you that they had in themselves. It's like they want to see you win even more, so they help you more. Like the people on coaching calls are just the people in the program who are, you know, a fly in the wall. It's like, hey, if you're not willing to help yourself, how the fuck do you expect anybody to help you?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, good work, guys, so far. Let's talk a little bit about and you mentioned too, you were like trying different businesses, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Nothing really worked out. So like you and Justin are kind of similar in that
Trying a lot.
right? Right. But like I would assume that like even with trying to build an Amazon FBA or whatever, like I would assume you're still giving it the same kind of energy and effort that you would with you are with this, right?
Yeah, like I was putting in every hour that I had, you know, available. If I wasn't revising for like A levels, which is like high school exams,
Right.
for over here, like I was just working on the business. You know, I was putting in like still 5-6 hours a day, every single day. But like there was just so many external factors that I just couldn't control. I found that it just kind of like held me back. I mean, sure, there's probably more I could have done, but you know, I did put a lot of time in, and it just didn't really feel like I was getting that far.
Right. Okay. I like what like there just wasn't alignment. Like it just wasn't the model itself. Building a business. Like you don't think that served you, or was it something else?
I would just do like all my research, find like the perfect product, speak to suppliers for ages to find the right thing,
Right.
and then suddenly like when I go and list it, put all my inventory into Amazon, make that big bet, Amazon just starts selling the product at like half the price,
Right.
and like I'm just screwed, bro. There's nothing I can do, literally,
Yeah.
and I just lose money then. Like I literally lose money, and I put on all that time just for nothing.
Yeah, and it's like the first goal, right? And you know we'll kind of talk about like what you guys are doing now and like kind of like what's next as well. But like the first goal is really what, like 10 grand a month, right? That's kind of the big number. That's what it was for me starting out. It's like 10 grand. That's like your freaking shining star. I need to get to this mark, and it's like it's just so crazy to me how, you know, there's all these crazy ass complex business models where yeah you're doing that, you're competing with Amazon, you're shipping out like massive shipments from freaking China to go and sell products just to go and like make a few grand, when it's when you can literally make that amount of money, if not more, just selling for another business who's already done all the fucking work for you, right? Where you just plug in, call the people up, sell the thing, take the commission, they deliver, you just get good at the phone call, no, so that's cool. I think, the way that me and Amaan started is pretty similar to the way that you guys are starting. And it's also good to see that, like, you guys are, working together on this, right? And you guys are close and met each other. I think the network is really important, right? So, okay, you guys are both selling on a SMMA offer.
I mean, before we even talk about, like, the SMMA offer, man, like, the sales training, I feel like is something that a lot of people want to know more about. Because, like, young guys coming into sales, I'm sure there were a lot of misconceptions. So, like,
right.
What was, like, your biggest misconception coming into sales? I want to hear this from both of you.
That's a good question.
That's a good question.
I don't know if I have any. You have any?
Did you guys work sales before?
No, not at all.
Zero sales experience.
Yeah, I think I saw it as like as a short-term play. I was like, I want to just get the skills. I want to just learn how to sell, like make a couple grand on the side at uni, like that kind of thing, and just have a good skill set that will set me up well for like a corporate job. That's kind of the route I was going down.
Really?
Like investment banking was like ingrained into my brain from so long ago. So that process of like coming around to being like, there's an industry here that I could work in. It's just so crazy. I didn't see like the full potential of the industry. I just saw it as like a good way to pick up a few skills. And then maybe the people right at the top could make some good commissions. But otherwise, like I was like gonna come in, have it as basically better than a part-time job at university, and then just drop it, take those skills into my career, and then just have a bit of a better thing on my CV.
How has that vision changed, or if it has at all?
It's changed so much. So I joined in like December time, like started going all in on January the 1st. I was like, right, I'm gonna start this. And like every single day my mind's just kind of shifted towards like, I'm considering dropping out of uni now. Like, and if someone told me that a year ago, I would have told them they're fucking crazy. All my mates are like, what are you doing? And it's such a crazy decision to even think about, like dropping out. It's like, what? You're supposed to go and like be a banker. Like, it's just crazy.
Well, like what made you? Because you said and even we were talking yesterday at dinner. Like your dad wants you in investment banking. I would assume, or at least he's you guys are talking about it a lot.
It's just the route he's used to.
It's the route he's used to. It's kind of what the plan has always been, and now it's shifted, right? So like what exactly, like what shifted that plan? Like what shifted from, hey, I just want to do this on the side, you know, make some good money, build some skills, to, hey, maybe I can actually go and do this full time?
I think there's a couple things. Like one, I fell in love with the game. Like just learning every single day, always improving, getting better. It's just really good, you know, showing up and just knowing that, okay, now I can beat that objection, now I can, you know, handle this particle better, always getting better at one thing. That's a huge one, to be honest. And the second thing was, yeah, just every single day understanding like more and more about the industry, like what offers are available, like, you know, literally a couple months in, starting to make a few grand a month. It's like, how is that even possible? What other industry in the world can you walk into, start making a few grand a month after having just a few months of training? Like, how?
Right.
It just doesn't happen anymore.
Well, you guys are definitely still just scratching the surface, right?
Of course.
Definitely.
Like, yeah, I think you guys are, you know, you're seeing some decent numbers now. Like, it's really just the fucking beginning, you know.
Yeah.
No, man, that's really cool.
What was it for you, Justin?
Like for stepping into the game.
Yeah, like that decision to be like, you know what, I'm gonna go all in, you know, with this. Did you have that similar mindset shift that Giles had, where it was like, yeah, maybe I'll do this part-time and then I'll go full-time or something like that? Or
Yeah, coming to this, like, this is something that I want to, like, pursue full-time. Like, just, like, you know, having Ben coach me, like, still, like, feeling that experience. Like, I want to be able to do that for other people. So, like, that's like, when I knew, like, I wanted to do this full-time. So, like, coming to this, like, that's why I attended every coaching call, every boot camp. I'm pretty sure you guys know that. You know, just, the thing I love about sales is that you set your own check. You set your own commissions, you know? Like, the amount of work you put in is the amount of results you get. That's what I love about it, you know? Like, that's why, like, I'm so big on personal development, because, like, I feel like the more you work on yourself outside of sales, when it comes to, like, the gym, you know, personal relationships, you know, just, like, reading books, I feel like that really, like, contributes to how much money you make when it comes to sales.
My close rate goes down on the days I don't go to the gym. Like,
Yeah.
Bro,
no joke.
It's all internal congruency at the end of the day. If you yourself don't push yourself to your limits, if you don't take a step out of the comfort zone every single day, how the hell can you actually expect somebody else to do it, the person you're speaking to? And it's like, I think Misha spoke about this maybe on like a video or like on another podcast, but it's like, you just have an aura. When you are self-developing, when you're taking steps out of your comfort zone, when you're constantly pursuing your vision relentlessly, you have this aura around you where it's like, people see it and feel it. And when you're talking to somebody and you're, you know, saying a question like, hey, are you ready to finally take a step out of the comfort zone, really pursue your dreams, your aspirations, your ambitions? Two people can say that, but one person who's actually in alignment and has that internal congruency, it's going to hit so much harder than the guy who is saying, hey, step out of the comfort zone, but isn't doing it themselves.
Just the conviction thing. You know, when you actually have conviction when you say it, they can feel that.
Yeah, and you can't fake it, right? Like, some people think they can fake sales and like fake who they are on a call, but like, you really can't.
Not at all.
You know, oh, that's a good point.
That's something I'm curious though, because coming into this, you guys, did you have that mindset of, okay, like self-development, or did you come into this like thinking, okay, let me just commit to sales training, and then a byproduct of that was self-development? Or did you already know, hey, self-development is what is going to help me see the results?
Yeah, when I first came to this, like, I was more committed to the sales part, but then, like, it wasn't until, like, you know, I started hopping the boot camps and coaching calls, like, that's when you guys started introducing self-development. That's when, like, I really took it, like, more seriously.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think it's like, because even like sometimes the sales training is cool, right? Like, hey, what do you say when this happens? You have this kind of buyer. How do you approach it? What do you do? What kind of story do you tell, right? Like, we can do that all day, but at the end of the day, like, the biggest jump that I've had in sales always just comes down to that, you know? It's just the personal development. So, yeah, cool. I'm glad you guys...
I'm so glad you talk about that on the boot camp, because, like, especially, you know, for people to really embrace what it takes to reach those high levels of success, you need to be around that messaging constantly. You're a really good example for them. I feel
So
like.
good. Whenever you do one of those like motivational boot camps, we're all like, me and Justin always text each other like, that was a fire.
Oh my god.
Yeah. These guys start their sales with Misha's boot camp.
Yeah. No, those are fun, man. Those are fun, and those get me going. I think that's important is the routine of doing something every single day, right? Whether that's sales training, whether that's the gym, whether that's whatever else needs to happen, right?
Yeah.
But cool. Let's kind of, I guess, just like talk about what you guys are doing now, kind of what it looks like, shed some light on what's been going on. So both of you guys both started closing around the same time.
Yeah,
right?
like same exact time.
So you guys trained for how long before you guys started? You made you got on the phone?
So I joined January 2nd. I got placed within 2.5 months.
Okay. Same for you? About a little bit more than that?
Probably
Like
started
3
getting
months?
into it, started Jan, and yeah, April time, got the offer.
Okay. And yeah, I think just real quick before we move on, I think the biggest reason why you guys were able to move and make it happen was the training, right? Like how many role plays were you guys like what was a week in the life of training in that first 3 months?
For a lot. I just said how many role plays can I physically squeeze into my day? And I had to go with one of the other guys in the group. I think I did 50 in 1 week.
Nice.
And these were like hour and a half role plays
Rookie
whilst
numbers,
doing uni.
Rookie numbers. We do 24 book calls a day.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm getting there. But you know, I thought with 50 role plays, you know, you see other people trying to do like 5-6 role plays a week, and I was like, okay, that's cool. But if I want to become the best, I just got to use every waking hour in a day, just to, like constantly get better.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
For me personally, I was doing about like 2 role plays a day. But I was doing like 2 to 4 hours of deep work, just like watching the video module course, taking notes.
What do you think was more helpful for you, like doing like live practice, or like the deep work and watching recordings and all that?
That's hard to say. I think they both like contribute to each other.
Mm-hmm.
But I would definitely say like the live role plays for sure. Just because like you're actually like implementing like what you're learning and you're going through the motion.
That's
Okay.
scary though.
Yeah.
That's scary.
You said they're scary? Like the role plays?
on the coaching calls when you're in front of like
Right.
40 people,
Right,
you get
yeah.
called up. It's like oof, your heart starts
I better
pounding.
not fuck this up.
Yeah.
But like you gotta do it. Like you have to do it. You just gotta
Yeah.
show up. Once you got that first one out of the way, then it's like okay, it gets a bit easier every single time. To
Yeah.
the point where now it's like your heart rate doesn't even start going.
Yeah.
Like it's just chill.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
what I love about you guys is like you guys like really force like us to like step outside our comfort zones. Like sometimes like you'll call out random people to like role play even though they don't want to.
Right.
I think like that's like a really good example of like being like a good coach. You know, just like being able to like call out to people even though they don't want to, like even though they're nervous. Like
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, well, it's like the thing is like when we were first starting sales, like obviously Dylan was our mentor, right? And he really took us under his wing starting out, and that's exactly what he was doing. We would be running like small Zoom calls, like maybe like 10 people on it. We're role playing one by one, and Dylan is just ripping us. You know what I mean? Like everything is fucking wrong. He's calling us out. And like it was really uncomfortable, like really fucking scary role playing, right? Especially when you're first starting out in sales. He's been doing it for years, and then he's just ripping you, right? But yeah, it's exactly what you just said. So I think it's cool because it's like for us, obviously it worked. Obviously we were able to do really well. And now it's just passing it down,
Yeah.
But not cool.
Heartbeat never lies. If you are nervous and your heart is jumping, it's like,
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
that just means you gotta practice that more.
Yeah, you gotta be calm under pressure.
Yeah, even till this day, I still get like a little bit nervous.
Yeah.
I'll admit that.
Oh, really,
Sure.
Justin?
Yeah.
I didn't think about it. I didn't think about it, bro.
What's that?
Just a role play.
Bro, it's fucking 8 in the morning, bro. That role.
Okay, cool. Well, we got a mastermind, but before we get up to that, let's talk about where you guys are at right now. What you guys are doing, what kind of numbers you guys are seeing, what it's been like these past 2-3 months. You guys have been closing now. So both of you guys are staying on the same offer, right? This is it's from what I understand, it's a pretty low ticket offer, right? Like you guys are selling a $1,000 product.
500.
$500 product, and you have upsells.
We have upsells, yeah.
Right. So what does that look like? I know you guys get a ton of leads every single day. Just I guess kind of walk us through what the offer looks like without getting into names or specifics or anything.
Yeah, I mean it's for social media marketing. It has one-on-one mentorship, coaching calls. You get a lot of training, so it's a good package. $500. That's the main. That's the ticket price.
Right.
And then there's some upsells. There's software that you can add on to that to help finding leads. You know, so there's different things, and the way that works is that if they pay in full, they go up to an onboard, and then the onboards get to close them. You get a commission off that. So there's like an incentive to get them to pay in full.
For sure.
Right.
Okay. And it's what's the commission?
20%.
20%.
It's like $100.
Yeah, per sale. So like, what does that look like? So you guys are getting book calls. You're also getting spreadsheet leads to call, right?
Yeah, it's a mixture. It's mostly cold calls, like spreadsheet.
Yeah.
But recently we get some book calls as well.
Okay, cool. So like, what does it look like? Like, is it because I remember when we were doing that, like when we first started, it was like a packed out calendar, booked calls, and then on top of that, we'd be taking 100 calls a day. So it would just be like banging the phones, right? It'd be like multiple deals going up every couple hours. We're throwing up a deal. Is it the same for you guys?
Yeah, I mean like it depends on the day, but some days it goes pretty crazy. Like there's some of the guys in the offer are going pretty crazy, but yeah, sometimes there's a lot of deals in the chat. It'd be back to back to back.
That's the best feeling. Cause it's like when you see that, it's like it's like, I can't get a sale in, or that shit fires you up. You're like, fuck, I'm gonna put in the next one.
Especially towards the end of the month as well. Like when you try to hit all the bonuses for the end of the month.
Yeah, and that's the best, right? When you have a team and everyone's fucking competitive, everyone's pushing each other. I was even telling you, I remember when we were, I think you had your best month, like maybe 1 or 2 months ago, right? You like had a personal best and you like closed the deal on the last day of the month that puts you first.
Yeah, that was a good one.
What was that? Like what was the mark that you hit?
So the month was like I did 14K in cash collected.
Okay.
But that like sale at the end was like a 2K sale.
Right.
And like usually we're only doing 500. So I did like every upsell we even had and just got this person on the first call, so that was crazy. But yeah, that month was around 3K in commissions.
3K, and that was like your first or your second month?
That was the second month. First month was slow. I was off on holiday for the start of it.
And what was the advice that I gave you?
You just said just be on the phones like all the time. You said just make sure you're the best way you can learn at this point. Like you've done a lot of training, just get more experience on the phones. Just if there's any time that you could be doing anything else, just be on the phone. Just talk time.
Right.
That was the biggest thing.
Because you were asking like, hey, like should I be training during the day? Like should I be setting aside a few hours for that? And then I was like, no, like you have leads in your sheet.
Yeah.
Like you should be spending every single minute of the day. Like either your phone is ringing or you're talking to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're like hop on a boot camp call in the morning, ask a couple questions, like leave and just get dialing.
What was the other thing too? I told you something else.
The other thing is it the upsell thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So normally we're told to go for just the standard ticket price of like $500.
Mm-hmm.
But there's an upsell, and you said like if there's an upsell, like sell it. Like do you hate your prospect? Like do you want them to have a worse product? So then I just started pitching the upsell on every single call, and then if someone asked for a payment plan, I just then pitched them paid in full, like the normal $500 price.
Yeah.
So now like payment plans, I get barely any like actual payment plans. Everything's just paid in full or an upsell. And it's just increased my commissions so much.
Nice. So like you started closing a lot more after that of the bigger ticket?
Yeah, I think people are scared of going for a bigger ticket.
Yes.
It's like it's more money,
Yes.
but there's so much more value. People don't buy just on the price, like they buy on the value. And if you can just show them it's more achievable to like get into the business with the upsell, they're gonna buy it.
Okay. So real quick, Amaan. So cause I just want to talk on this, right? So you started like maybe your second month you hit 3K, right? We have that quick conversation. You start. I'm pretty sure you started pushing like 80 to 100 dials a day when before you were maybe doing like 50.
Yeah.
Is that right? You start pitching the higher ticket more, right? So it's like no necessarily big jump in your skill set, no big jump in necessarily what you're doing. I mean, obviously you're getting more experience, more confidence, all of that, but it was just really those two adjustments, right? And then the next month, what did you do in commissions? Is that this month or was it last?
So last month that I had a bit of a slower month to be honest, but I still did 3.7.
Okay.
So I still did better. But then this month is where it changed. I just got super serious with my goals at the start. And it's like that boot camp you did on the first. You were like, right, map out your goals. I was like, I'm actually gonna sit down and do it. I spent like an hour just sat there with like ChatGPT, my spreadsheet, trying to get it to like crunch all the numbers for me. It's like you do this many dials, you do this every single day, you'll get to this result. And so this month I'm on for a record month, which is good.
Cool. And you.
Well, what's the record, bro?
It should be 6.5K ish.
You said the goal was 7, right? At the start of the month?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we gotta fucking hit that. We got a few days left,
Yeah.
but you didn't make sure you You gotta take some calls here at the event.
I will.
But cool,
Let's
man.
go.
Nice.
But what flipped? Okay, like you saying you got more serious, but like what does that actually mean? How did you go from really 3.7 to 6.5 or whatever you're at now?
I think it's just turning into more of like a science. You know, it's like obviously a lot of sales is, you know, not like a science, but there's a lot of parts that are, and I think just mapping out all the inputs, because at the end of the day, like there is, you know, I have an average close rate. Like I know if I offer this many people, I'm gonna close this many people, and it's just so if I just put in this many inputs, then I'll just get the result I want, and that's just what I did. You know, I just pitched more people. Like I've got way more offers than this month than last month, just because of the inputs I've been putting in, and then sure enough that results in the output.
Yeah, and it's crazy how you can just like double your commissions just like that, you know, in a span of 1-2 months like that. You keep that up, and yeah, like I said, I think you guys are both just scratching the surface. But yeah, like shit, I mean that's like 80 G's a year, 90 G's a year, close to, if you keep that up. So, yeah.
At
but
age 21?
20.
20.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's yeah. The thing is though is you can never coast. Like you can never say like, okay, I made $7,000 this month. I'm just gonna make $7,000 a month for the rest of the year. Like you always have to be pushing for more, because the moment that you stop pushing for more, that's where you start slacking. That's where numbers start dropping. There's no such thing as staying stagnant in sales. You're either going up or you're going down. You know, that's awesome, bro.
What about you, Justin?
Yeah, for me,
how's your experience on the offer?
It's been really good. First month I made $4,000. Second month I got a bit complacent and lazy because like, I saw that first check. I was like, dang, maybe let me relax a little bit. But then that's where I fumbled, man.
Started
So
posting.
third month I started picking up the pace. Broke a record, and now for this month I'm alright to making $4,000.
Nice. What's your, I mean, I guess like your plan moving forward? Like, what do you, what's your approach on the next couple months? Like, what is it that you want to accomplish?
Yeah, like I really just want to double my commissions. You know, I feel like I could do so much more. I feel like I could, you know, work on my skills a lot more, and that's the main reason why I came out to this event. You know, I want to be able to like, you know, become a better closer. You know, learn some more information, see what I can take, so I can implement it within my calls.
I'll tell you this. I mean, for me, like when me and Amaan were starting out, Amaan was probably doing double my commissions every month for like a long time. You know, and like I grew up with Amaan. He's one of my best friends for like I've known you for what, like 10 years now.
Yep.
And it used to like piss me off. Like I like wanted to. Like I didn't really care about necessarily the commissions I was making or the money I was making. I was just like, yo, like Amaan is doubling my fucking sales, you know, and like that alone pissed me off. I just wanted to like get ahead of Amaan.
Justin was doing that the first month. He crushed like 4K in his first month. He did like 1.5K. I was like, I'm gonna step up. That pissed me off. Like I got angry about that.
No, and it should. And I think it's like it plays to certain personality types, right? It's like you're either competitive or you're not. You know, like you're either a fucking lion or you're a fucking zebra. You know. Like you're either, you know, trying to kill, you're trying to win, or you just fucking settle, you stay stagnant. And those people, I mean, I guess, I don't know, I haven't really seen that personality type last. But, cool, that's it.
It kind of seems like you two have that same dynamic where it's like, it's not even about like the commission, but it's about like the leaderboard, right? It's like that competitive drive where it's like, Justin, keep it a buck right now. Keep it real. Like, does it piss you off that, like, does it boil your blood to the absolute core that Giles is above you or no?
It does. And, I mean, like, that's the thing, right? Like, just seeing that, it really does, like, motivate me to, like, become better, you know? I don't want to be at the bottom, you know what I mean? I don't want to be in the middle. Like, I want to be at the top because, like, I know being at the top, like, that's going to give me more opportunities to make more money, you know what I mean?
We do a call every morning, like me and Justin now, like just locked in, focusing on things we need to improve on, everything else, and bro, every morning you're like,
we do it before
I don't want to be at the bottom, bro.
Like, that's super sick, like, especially for us, like, that's one thing that we had that I'm glad you guys are doing, because it's replicating that, like, being in the office, being around Misha, being around all these other closers, being around Dylan, doing these role plays, having the opportunity to ask questions, like, it's so crucial to your growth, because if you're just cooped up, and I think, honestly, that's why you were like, fuck e-com, and why you said fuck Amazon FBA, because like, you're just literally cooped up in your room, on your laptop, by yourself, antisocial as hell, just trying to find winning products like a nerd. But here, it's like you're communicating with other people, you're inspiring others to change their lives, you're changing your life at the same time.
Well, because even we know like guys in ecom who did millions, but like they're losers. Like they're straight up fucking losers. Like they just sit in their condo all day, you know, they make their fucking whatever. But then outside of that, like they're freaking smoking weed, doing shrooms, doing a bunch of nonsense, you know, trying to find purpose in their life, and it's just like I don't know if I would want to trade places with them, you know, regardless of the money. But cool. So. Yeah, guys, obviously it's been a big year so far, 2024. We're only 6 months in. What's next, right? What's happening over these next 6 months? What's the target? What are you guys hoping to do, hoping to accomplish, skills you're looking to develop? What's in store?
Yeah, I guess the target for me is just being able to double and triple my commissions, you know, just being able to become the best top closer that I can be, and just really getting better every single day.
Yeah, I think for me, like, I'm moving up to, like, that upsell I talked about a bit earlier next month. So I want to try and crack that 10K mark next month. That's what I'm shooting for. I try and do 10, 12K next month. I'll map out all the goals on the first, you know, make sure that actually happens. And then going from there, like, end of the year, I want to do, like, 15, like, really push for 20K. That's what I want to get to.
That's the thing, right? Is and something that I think Justin you said, it's you know, when you get to the top of the board, it's like, okay, you can grind. Maybe you push, you know, 4 or 5 grand, 8 grand, whatever, to get to the top, right? But the thing is like all of that grind, all of the skills that you develop to get to the top, you're not necessarily just working for the extra couple $1,000s in commissions that you're going to make that month, right? But you're playing the bigger picture game, right? The skills that you develop so that in the next 6 months, in the next year, the opportunities that are presented to you that are potentially higher leverage, right? Like you guys are selling a fucking $1,000 or a $500 product right now, right? Like when you guys start selling 5Ks, 10Ks, 25Ks, right? And all of the work that you're doing now is working up to that point, right? Like the thing is, the way that me and Amaan started was on the freaking lead sheet, pounding leads, right? Dealing with the freaking scum of the earth, you know, garbage fucking human beings grinding, right? But the thing is like the lessons that you learn in that phase starting out is what got us to where we're at now, right? So it's like the lessons that you guys are learning now, that's what's going to get you to a place where, you know, a year from now you're doing 20, 30 grand a month, right? But the thing is most people, they'll get the fucking spreadsheet, you know, they're just starting out, they're like, oh, I want all book calls, I want all hot leads, right? They get entitled, it's not easy, and then they quit. Right, so it weeds out the real from the fake, you know. So, yeah, I mean, you really just gotta trust that like the skill set that you're learning and you're developing, the daily grind. You gotta trust that that's gonna pay off in a massive way because it will. But most people don't think like that. Most people think in like 2-week fucking time frames rather than 1 year time frames, right? So that's probably one of the biggest pieces of advice that I would give to you guys would be to think. Bigger, right, and think over longer periods of time. Because when you do that, the day-to-day, you just focus on the inputs, and you care less about the outputs. You know?
That's the biggest thing about coming here. You know, even last night at dinner, I was like, I want to try and crack 10K next month. And Martin, you were just like, okay, like what's holding you back from doing that? Because it's like you don't care. Like, it's like, okay, cool, that's fine, that's easy. And for me, it's like, oh shit, like that's not actually. Like that shouldn't be that crazy. Like it's like cracking my limited belief in my head that 10K a month is some crazy number, and you're like, just go and do it.
Yeah.
Bro, and like I'm glad that you had that moment, that revelation, because I know, me and Misha now going to different masterminds, connecting to people who are making hundreds of thousands, if not millions a month. It's like it's just $1 million a month. That's it. I'm so glad you had that revelation, because at the end of the day, you got 10 grand. It's nothing. What, $330 a day in commissions, and you're at 10 grand a month. And like now that we're in this position where we're going to masterminds, connecting with higher net worth individuals, 100,000 a month, $1 million a month. It's like at the end of the day, when you are around other people, where that is the benchmark standard, it's like, dude, this is fucking nothing. I can go and crush this goal. So
Yeah, and that's
super glad you guys came out.
Yeah, and that's going to be one of the things I want to talk about a lot at this event that we're going to be doing for the next 3 days. Just fucking thinking bigger, just resetting your standards. There's a lot more that's possible, and I think you guys should be some of the ones who get it done for real.
Before we do wrap up, I'm wondering like if there's someone who is just getting into this, or like if you're speaking to the old version of yourself, the Justin who was doing e-com, or the Giles who was doing Amazon FBA, in his college dorm room, uni dorm room. Like, what advice would you give to that person?
I think just just do exactly what I did. I think I did the route pretty well. You know, just like get into something where like your inputs equal your outputs. I think that was the biggest thing for me. It's like I was just spinning my wheels. Like I could try and do as much work as possible, but I just needed something where it works. Seek mentorship, like get a mentor. And I know everyone says this, it's like, where do you find a mentor? You just gotta go and find someone that you actually look up to and is in a position that you want to be in. Like, reality is you're probably gonna have to pay them, but like, that's gonna get you to where you wanna be. Like, that's ultimately what it's about. And like, I think I was just always scared of getting a program, getting a course. But at the end of the day, I think it's just like, do your research, find the one that you wanna go for, and just do it. And just put in the work to make it happen, because it will work out.
Yeah, I think for me, like, I would just say, like, just believe in yourself more. Like, get after it, take action every single day. And just put in the work every single day.
Awesome. Well, guys, thanks for coming on. I appreciate it. I think this is going to help a lot of people who are just starting out. We got a big weekend ahead of us, so let's wrap this thing up and let's get this weekend started. Like, comment, subscribe, show some love to these guys, and we'll see you on the next one.
Peace.